This here is the perhaps most anticipated version of the all-new Mercedes GLC, the Mercedes-AMG GLC 43. And we're going to find out, is it a very good performance everyday driving SUV, and is it actually better than the GLC 63, which has this performance plug-in hybrid concept? This one here without the plug-in hybrid. So will this less in weight be better for the driving performance, and would I recommend this one? We're going to find out here together with Thomas and Autogefühl in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go! And the GLC 43 already has this wider body kit. See it here, just a big stance on the road, and then the vertical fins here with the Panamericana front grille. Really aggressive front look. High-tech silver is our vehicle color for today, and we also have these black contrasts. Then you have here the digital light in this case. This is then the most sophisticated LED option. You can also see this blue contrast, at least on the European market. And really strong accentuations already here on top of the hood, and you now also have the AMG badge here on top of the hood, whereas you still have the really wide Mercedes star where they hide the sensors behind. And indeed, I can already tell you so far, the 43 version here of the GLC is over 300 kilograms lighter than the GLC 63 version, which, as I said, has now this performance plug-in hybrid concept. This one here, a mild hybrid powertrain, but soon more to the engine. In the side profile, 4.75 m or 187 inches in length. Yes, it's a couple of centimeters longer than the normal GLC because of the spoiler overhang and so on. But of course, same wheelbase. Then you have here 20-inch wheels for today with this aerodynamic design. Of course, different designs are possible. And in Europe, you would start with 19-inch wheels for the entry for the 43. In the US, you already, or North American market, you already start with 20-inch wheels. And optional, you could even go to 21-inch wheels. Suspension-wise, this is really interesting today. So, the normal GLC comes with a standard suspension, or optional, an air suspension, but on the European market. And also optional in the package comes together with a rear axle steering, 4.5 degrees in the opposite direction. That package is not available on the Northern American market. However, now here with the GLC 43, it's different. You somewhat have something in between, an adaptive suspension, which is not an air suspension, and it's also available even standard on the Northern American market. So the 43 version always has the same suspension worldwide, and it's adaptive, it has a sporty AMG trim, and it even comes with a rear axle steering. Just that here it's not 4.5 degrees in the opposite direction than the front wheels, but 2.5. So not as much, but it still helps in more agility at lower speeds, and also parking in and out in the basement garage and so on. Doing a U-turn is easier. So actually, this is then the only possibility for you, besides 63 version, to have a rear axle steering on the North American market. Very interesting. We also see how it turns out and how it is in driving. Then the rear here with this tail lamp design, really round structures. What I found peculiar is that the logos seem to be offset, not straight. But it's not that the logos are not straight, it's because of the design of the vehicle, because it has this round structure here. Then of course the logos are straight on it, but they look, you know what I mean? I would expect a logo like this, but it's just the design of the vehicle. But yeah, just a peculiar thing. Then, let's see if the Autogefühl fake exhaust police has something for you here today. Looks massive here on the outside, and yeah, but the real exhaust is then on the inside. It does go through the air somewhat, but still I would say alert for the Autogefühl fake exhaust police. Flying from the logos to the turning indicators, and here in the front I think they're pretty cool, nice integration. This digital light here, by the way, the Matrix LED, is also standard for the 43 model. And at the rear, yeah, that's maybe a little bit disappointing. Not such a cool integration like in the front. Interesting that underload here, yes, it's a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. No 6-cylinder here anymore for the 43 model. Interesting dome strut here, pretty cool, right? Yeah, it's still like an AMG tuned engine. In this case then here 420 horsepower roundabout, mild hybrid system, so you have some electric boost and also recuperation possibilities. And the acceleration figure is at 4.8 seconds. For the 63 it would be 3.5 seconds. So yes, the 63 is quicker, but then the highest peak is only when the battery is at a certain status, and then the question is if you like accelerate a couple of times, you know, in succession and so on. But this one always has like a constant power output. And as I said, 335 kilograms lighter than the 63 model. So I'm really anxious to see how it plays out. The all-wheel drive distribution, by the way, is 30/70, so a strong rear-wheel bias. This is the key fob, really heavy, nice quality, and door closing sound. Also solid like that. Nice. Yeah, that's the car nerd stuff, right? Then inside of the doors, everything covered. Also a nice integration of the ambient lighting. However, a lot of high gloss black use, and there's no real cover here at the inside of the doors, just some rubber pad. And this one is rather hard packed than here, but it's quite spacious though. Then you have an AMG entry sill badge and also AMG floor mats. Next to an AMG steering wheel, perforation at the side. This one is also available with microfiber and carbon fiber, the one I would actually go for. And really nice, always here with the illumination inside the turbine air vents. I really love that. And the seats here, what I applaud them for is they use microfiber and the high-grade leatherette. So the seat is animal-free and it looks amazing. Look at that AMG badge. Just from design, this seat is really awesome. However, there is one catch to that. This is the optional performance seat. So you don't have to go for that one. And I also advise you not to pick this optional seat because although it looks amazing and has great materials on the surface, it just doesn't have Einsitzhöhe, like the seating depth.
You can show it there.
Yeah, it's like it's so hard, it doesn't give way. Then it just starts hurting the bones underneath your booty. Yeah, so however, the standard sport seats that are just coming with the 43 without any option have the same material mix, but they're just more comfortable. So the only thing you have to do is not pick this option. Very important. And then here, a lot of headroom left, 189, 6'2". There's also a version with a panoramic roof available. And here the steering wheel has an electric control. And the cockpit overview, pretty clean here, vertical layout of the screen. Yeah, but just too much high gloss black than here, I feel. What do you think about that? But you can have some kind of more modern atmosphere here. That looks quite cool, doesn't it? And once again, also with these turbine air vents. Here, by the way, you can easily deactivate this speed limiter chime, either here on the screen or when pressing and holding the mute button, then you can also activate or deactivate that one. But overall, a nice overview and looks also classy, once again with more ambient lighting here around in a very sensual way. And then here, you can open this one. Then two USB-C chargers, inductive charging pad in the very front, but that is too much hidden. And also here, these cup holders, the bottles just fly all over the place. They only hold like paper coffee cups. That's it. But anything else is not suitable for that. And then here, split armrest. That's nice again. Then you have more space underneath and two more USB-C chargers. Oh, and these shifting pedals here, they are actually pretty nice. I also give a good feedback. AMG specific gauges here at the steering wheel. Oh, for example, for the exhaust sound, there's also transporting in the interior, then also suspension settings and so on. And on the other side, you can easily switch the driving modes also while driving, so that's pretty cool. Steering wheel itself has a good grip. Just here, hashtag capacitive controls on the steering wheel, so these are all capacitive. In the digital instruments, you can also pick different views here for the AMG versions. You can also pick extra sporty designs. And the screen, I do prefer physical dials, of course, for the AC. However, for a touchscreen solution, at least it's good in like the visibility. Here, off-road gauges you have for the GLC here. That's nice. And since it's an AMG, you also have specific performance gauges. So you can also watch the engine there in action here with the suspension, but also engine, for example. Then you can see how you rev it up. Ooh. Rear seats, first of all, the door here, covered. So far, so good. A lot of high gloss black here again, though. That's cool here. The ambient lighting. This is also the warning when someone is behind, like the exit warning when you want to open the door or get out. So that's why it was flashing in red. Pretty cool, right? Lower part, however, then, yeah, this is rather hard pack once again. And it also doesn't open too wide for the child seat access. Isofix at the outside parts though, and you have to put them in like this, and then have to see how, yeah, when you push them in, then you have to see how you get them out again, yeah, like that. Here also the nice microfiber cover for the rear seats, and we have the armrest here, soft, and you can push it out once or twice. Then here for the cup holders, there we go. And then, well, these are the performance seats. And it seems that they do not benefit the rear legroom. On the contrary, I think we had more legroom with the normal seats in GLC. Pretty certain about that. So this one here costs legroom. Wow, it's interesting because they are stiff and slim on the front side, but they are still voluminous on the back side. That is astonishing. So yeah, this is another reason not to go for these performance seats indeed. Wow. And here, the headroom, that's no problem. 189, 62. Yeah, this leaves a lot of headroom left. And the comfort in the rear is, I would say, better than in the front. Yeah, and you got that here. This is how a seat should also be, a little bit plusher than in the front. So yeah, definitely here you would prefer the rear seating position. Trunk or boot at 620 liters. That's actually an advantage to the 63, which is only at 470 liters. Here the cover on the top. Then here there's just like an additional cover. You don't have to use that one. And then underneath, actually, a lot of space. That's where the liter figure also comes from. And the shopping basket, because yeah, we always forget to get all the bags. And then we're just somewhere, and then we want to go shopping, and then we don't have any bags with us. So that's maybe a German problem, I don't know. But here we always have the basket. Then here, you see here the width here is easily 1 meter or 40 inches. It's even wider, so that's really good. More like 1 meter and 10 or 43 inches. And then here the length is also approximately 1 meter or 40 inches, and good height here, 73 centimeters or 29 inches. Also interesting that this one here is still available as the Coupe version, GLC Coupe. And you just have a little bit compromise here in the trunk and in the height, whereas the X3 will not be available as the X4 anymore. Also interesting to know. And what is cool with the GLC here, you always have this great remote unlocking right here and here. So that's a really, really good process. Look at that, how flawless that is. And folds easily, very flat like that, and supposed to be like that. And then here the length is about 1 meter 85 or 73 inches. That looks strange, right? But it's because I want to show you two features. First of all, I was criticizing in the latest GLC review that you cannot adjust the rear bench, which is true from a passenger perspective. Like while sitting, it's not really possible. But you can adjust it in a way that there is this cargo position here. When you put this one here up, like that, there we go. Then it is actually steeper, not that comfortable to sit. Here, by the way, also nice how the seat goes back and forward automatically. But this is, you have a little bit more cargo length than in the upper part. So yeah, there you can see the difference. And here, once again, when I fold this one here, look at that seat here. So that's really cool, right? Nice mechanism. And of course, here at the same side, I can also put in this cargo position right here. And here, to fold the seats, it's also easier when you put the rear seat belt here in this small hole, then you have it here at the side. Here you can see the difference then when you have just a little bit more length here in the top part. There we go. Okay. That was 240.
So silent.
Wow. I mean, yeah, besides from the this emulated engine sound, yeah, but like over there, here, you know, when I'm 180 kilometers an hour, there's hardly any wind noise. Wow. So really good now. Hard on the brakes. There's really good noise installation. Wow. I mean, yeah, there was this sound from the sound emulation, like brr, brr, brr.
Sound and,
That was, by the way, a little bit rattling in the speakers, right? So I heard that, like, so that was not that ideal. But when you look, aside from the engine sound, really, like Leah is absolutely right, it's really silent as for wind noise, road noise, and you see like the road is slightly wet, and here gladly was drier before, where we drove quicker. Wow, Sport and Sport Plus mode, suspension is stiffer, giving me more feedback from the road. Wow, I already feel how agile it is, and then I can always go back to the comfort mode, RPM go lower, and then it's really, really silent. Now let's check on the tunnel. We can also see more of that beautiful ambient lighting. You can of course also change the colors, and here when you change the temperature, for example, it turns red, and when you go colder it goes blue. Just that it's already blue now, then but if it would be green it would be blue when you go to minus temperature. Yeah, but it looks really, really cool here, definitely. And also here we are in a tunnel and we hardly hear anything, so very good noise insulation in that respect, good comfort. Suspension wise, here in the comfort mode is also giving us more comfort, but you feel that it's definitely stiffer here in the 43 than in the normal GLC, but it's also supposed to do actually. Yeah, although it's an adaptive suspension, still really notably on an AMG trim, and we have the 20-inch wheels here, would be standard on the North American market, and on the European market 19-inch wheels. These are also winter tires, so they will be a little bit softer, but you know, when the road is a little bit uneven, yeah, you feel that shakiness a little bit. So I would definitely say it's not that you take a base GLC or the one with the air suspension and put a sporty engine in it. It is more you take a GLC 63 and take out the plug-in hybrid drivetrain and have it without the plug-in hybrid, you know. So that's how I see it. So definitely here in this generation, I feel the GLC 43 is really, really close to the 63. Yes, it has more power than 63, more horsepower. Then again, with this additional electric boost there. But this one you already feel so sporty and drives very sporty. In tight corners, when we throw around the car there, then of course here in this case the sport seats help. Yeah, that's the only good thing they do actually. But I have to say, just after driving like half an hour or something, yeah, everything is hurting, you know, under my booty. So really can't recommend it as for the comfort. It's just good for holding you tight actually, but that will also be not a problem when you have the normal sport seats with the microfiber. It's, you know, not sliding around that much anyway. Whew. Well, that was some adrenaline going on there, pretty nice. And here, by the way, when you put on Sport or Sport Plus mode, the engine start-stop function is also off, you know. That's also a thing, that the engine running at the traffic light if you need to do a quicker jump or something like that. We always have a rear wheel bias of the all-wheel drive, yet we also have power on the front wheels, and that's also good. For example, you know, when here the road is a little bit wet, for example, we just have more traction, especially to get all of that power on the ground. So yeah, here for example, let's accelerate out. It's really instant. And then out here, nice, beautiful, plop, plop, plop from the exhaust. That's pretty cool. And you can also deactivate that extra node here at the steering wheel. That's also possible. And it's also like this special sound emulation is also an option in the option list for the 43 actually. So you actually don't have to go for that one. When you're in the comfort mode, let's also test out the assistance systems. So here we can set it in the steering wheel.
Maybe we can put a nice background.
Oh, yeah, performance mode. Yeah, the performance gauges are. It takes.
Nice.
This looks very cool, right?
Yeah.
Takes sometimes really long to load it, definitely. Here, see here the steering wheel is being directed very nicely in a smooth way. Once again, here in that tunnel, and hardly any quick steering movements here, so really sophisticated. Here there's the blind spot monitor, red triangle in the side mirror, and you heard it when I set the turning indicator. It also gives us an acoustic warning. So from the assistance systems, extremely elaborated, very happy with that overall. And we can go one more time, Sport or also our Sport Plus mode. Ooh, see here, goes already 2 gears lower. then we can accelerate out one more time if we are already at speed. Let's go. Whoa, yeah, pretty nice, right? And here very, very stable at higher speeds. So it feels like nothing. Here, of course, the stiffer suspension is doing a good job in giving us a lot of handling and balance. So even at higher speeds, I feel like I'm totally in control of this vehicle, you know. So it doesn't feel like really high-sitting SUV. It feels more like a sports car, definitely. And I don't miss any of the 63 features here. Some more lane change here at higher speeds. It's pretty nice. Let's make the way free. There we go. Yeah, and once again here we're at 200 kilometers an hour, 125 miles an hour almost, and yeah, I can also deactivate that exhaust now, and then it's super, super silent. So yeah, once again, great noise insulation and great high-speed handling. And yeah, when we see, like for example, we're testing some Chinese vehicles lately, and everyone is saying like, yeah, the German automotive industry is done, everything is going bankrupt, the Germans suck. And there are huge problems, definitely, you know, and there's huge competition, especially in the electric vehicle segment. But then when you drive this one here with 200 kilometers an hour on the German Autobahn, you know, like, the BYD can't do that. Yet, at least not yet, you know, so huge difference, definitely, in like how the vehicle is handling, how it feels and so on. So this is something the Germans still can do very well, and why not being proud of that, you know? So that's a very cool thing, definitely. And before we get to our most fun exercise soon, some, you know, going up Autogefühl hill. You remember we brought that hill in Sportier Vehicle episodes earlier, so you've maybe seen it one if you have been subscribed here for a very long time. And then thank you so much for that. Before that, some comments here: normal countryside driving, a little bit slower driving, really relaxed, very calm. Here, of course, the stiffer suspension then doesn't play the most favorable role, and the seats neither, here the performance seats. And also we're driving with an open cover in the trunk. Like not the trunk itself, I mean like just like the cover above the luggage.
200 with open front.
200 with open front, yeah. That's what we do. And the reason is now everything is silent because like this slider is open. But when the slider is closed, it goes like blop, 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 like all time. And it's like, what is it? Is there something that, no, it was not like a suitcase in the trunk or something like that. The trunk cover is so cheaply designed that it just makes a rattling noise when it's closed. And so you have to remember, if you buy a 100,000 euros or dollars GLC 43, you have to drive with open trunk cover. Just close it when it's stationary to, you know, to block the views to what's in the trunk. Yeah, that can't be really right. It's a small thing, and I mean, it's also a cheap piece, and it could easily be fixed, but it also has to be fixed, right? So, of course, we try to give you all the insights about all the details that are happening here during our live on tape tests, and so this definitely need to be mentioned. However, now there's the part coming up that I was looking most forward to. And here we go. Nice steering here, super smooth. All-wheel drive with rear bias, you feel that? Really beautiful. Let's turn off that sound emulation, it just goes on my nerves. I can show the difference when I'm accelerating. There we go, next corner. It's beautiful handling. So really, really great in handling. Also, if you do some like left, right, and so on, super precise. And yeah, who would have thought that? Oh, look at that, W123, beautiful vehicle. There we go. I would have thought that I especially applaud Mercedes for the steering. You know, they used to be a little bit like laggy in the steering in like 5 years ago or something, but now really, really great precise steering work. And this is so much fun driving these corners here. Wow, that's amazing. So definitely one of the most fun SUVs, I have to say. Accelerating out here, and you know, hear the difference? It's like, or not. So I leave this extra emulation off, definitely. Can also use the shifting pedals myself to be in a lower gear, for example. Also here then shift down myself before this really tight corner. Ah, beautiful. So much fun. The shifting pedals you can really hammer in. Next right. Wow, this handles like a sports car. Amazing. So this is like the discipline for that vehicle here. It's so sporty, and yeah, I'm not missing anything from the 63. I'm really enjoying that we have less weight here, definitely. Leah?
Yep.
Fun factor?
Yes.
Leah's sum goes up.
Thumbs.
Yeah, and when Leah is not getting sick or something at all, can you show your face that it's still... Yay! That's beautiful. Your face, of course, and and the driving of that vehicle here. Wow. And as for pricing on the North American market, it starts just below 70,000 dollars, but goes spec'd above $80,000. On the European market, for example, Germany, it already starts above 80,000 euros, and spec goes well over 90,000 euros. So you can also spec a 100K vehicle for that. So yes, it's a very expensive one. However, depending on the configuration, still 20 to 35,000 less expensive than a GLC 63. So yes, I think it is a better choice than the 63. It's lighter, it's less expensive, and from the exterior and from the technology, you more or less get the same tech. Some things that 63 still has. Quicker acceleration and also a special anti-tilt control and so on. But most features are already included here in the 43 model. So I think it's, yeah, in a way, the better choice. So what do you think? And you can now also compare the 63. It was also a pretty cool review. And also the comparison review, X3 against GLC in the normal specs.